Hello YouTube, it is Damo_23 here, and it is time for a brand new save. Palermo unfortunately has had to stop due to a bit of a bug, and there will be a video explaining that at a later date, but it does give us the great opportunity to start a brand new save, the Youth Only Challenge. If you're excited for the Youth Only Challenge, go give it a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel because this is where the content will come out, and of course down below will be the Twitch where you can see all the gameplay, every game, every season, more than likely live on Twitch, so go give that a follow. Content's going to come out slightly different here on YouTube for this series. It's going to be more recap YouTube episodes about what's happened on stream and the recap of games more than just me putting in a game per episode. If you're excited for the new series, let me know in the comment section. Let me know where you would have chosen to do your youth challenge. Without further ado, we're going to get into explaining why we picked this club, the rules, and what to expect for the future episodes of the youth challenge. Our club that we have picked for the youth challenge is 1860 Munich. There's a couple of reasons why we have picked Germany over the perceived information that we're going to pick Spain, and there was a long time we actually were going to pick the Netherlands. The main reason is work permit issues for foreign talent, and the money in Germany will allow us in this challenge to buy the best youth available to us because the money in Germany is particularly very good. The reasons why for 1860 Munich are quite simple. They have a rivalry with Bayern Munich, and wouldn't it be cool to beat the bigger brother eventually to the league? Other reasons though do include the facilities here are also pretty decent. You know, they're quite good for a smaller club, and I think there's the capacity to grow 1860 Munich into one of the powerhouses of world football, whilst only signing youth-only players. If you're excited for 1860 Munich, give it a like, and of course, let's get into some rules so you know exactly how the save is going to be structured. So here are the rules to the German Youth Challenge, or the Fountain of Youth, that is what I'm going to call the save. Any point, if you are in the stream and you want to see the rules, I think the command is going to be exclamation rules. It may change, and there will be obviously a command list that will let you know where you can see the rules at any given time. It's a very simple challenge, you know. We're going to be with 1860 Munich, we're going to want to win the Bundesliga, we're going to want to win the UCL with a team based of youth-only players or homegrown players at the club. Rules are very simple. Youth players that come through the 1860 Munich Academy can be used throughout the entire save. If a player gets sold after coming through our 1860 Academy, we can bring them back at any point in the save. As I see in dot point 2, there is an example. You can pause if you want to read that example, but I'm going to use an example, you know, right now in the episode. Say I want to sign Tim Freeman. I don't know, first name that came to mind. And Tim's come through as a 15-year-old centre-back with wonder kid potential. We may have him until he's 18, and then Manchester City says he's 50 million. We let him go. Tim Freeman, though, spends a million years at Man City, and at the age of 32 is being released. We can pick him up as an older player at 32 on a free because he come through our academy and is homegrown at the club. In terms of being homegrown at the club, the rules on Football Manager are very simple. 3 years before the age of 21, and you become homegrown at that club. So, buying other German players or foreign players abroad before the age of 18 will allow me to make them homegrown for the Champions League before the age of 21 and homegrown at the club in the league. That means that this save is going to be based on our own youth academy talent we can produce for our own youth recruitment, but also how much talent we can poach at a young age before the age of 18, probably before the age of 19, and bring them in, train them at our club, and see what longevity that will put into us. There's obvious challenges to that. First is, what youngster can we bring in? Are they going to be good enough? And a lot of this challenge is going to be one eye to the future. We're going to have to build, in the initial onset, a team with the vision of how will it look in 5-6 years time when they all develop. That's one of the cool things about this challenge. Everything can't be done overnight. Don't expect back-to-back titles. Don't expect back-to-back promotions. First season, don't expect me to go up. And I'm going to explain why that is in just a second. The main reason why not to expect automatic promotion, playoff promotion, even a mid-table finish in the first season is because when you open up the Football Manager 22 editor, you will see that we have made some changes. You're probably all thinking, what about the current players at 1860 Munich? Well, I'll tell you what, unless they were homegrown at the club, they were no longer here. And I'm telling you right now, I didn't bother to check. What I did when we go to the players is anyone that I could have got out that wasn't in the first team squad before the age of 20 or 19, I decided to let go. We had to build from scratch. Also, and unfortunately, I wasn't aware that 1860 Munich didn't have an under-23s, but a secondary team. So there are some players at the club that have come from their secondary team that aren't good enough for the level that we're at, but aren't homegrown at the club. These players I'm going to try and phase out very quickly and make signings where possible, but at the start of the save, it's not exactly perfect, but it's as close to perfect as possible. And I feel like this gives the authentic sort of feel to the save where we've tried our best to make it as youth-only as possible at the beginning. I feel like this is the lesser of two evils than me saying I'll give myself 3 years to sell every player over the age of 20. That causes squad issues. It causes you to get attached to players that you don't really want to sell. And then you start going, oh, but this guy is now, he's been here for 3 years, what do? And you start making little rules down the line. I don't want to be like that. This is a youth-only save. Get the players out the club. Yeah, I think there's only 3 players that have come from the under-23s that aren't homegrown. And because of that, I can live with having just a couple that don't fit the rules for 1 season till their contract expires. Back to Football Manager, 1860 Munich. We have started the save last night on stream, yet to play the first game of the season. That will come in next episode, where we're going to recap probably the first month and transfers that did happen in our first little period here at 1860 Munich. However, I want to walk through preseason. And as you can see, we got a 0-0 against La Liga opposition in Cadiz. We lost to Abjet, who are a Hungarian first division side, before spanking Maccabi Petach Tikva. I don't know. Pronunciation, never my strong suit. They're an Israeli Premier League side that's meant to finish 6th in the league. So a very decent, interesting start to preseason. The tactic we have loaded up is a 4-2-3-1 that's been based on our Palermo 4-1-2-1-2 diamond that was so successful in that short time in that save. And you can tell from the star ratings that there might be some players that are decent, but we're really not at the level if that's perceived to be my best 11. If you have a look at the league table and the season preview, we are, because of getting everyone released and all that, we are predicted to finish 18th. Or getting relegated from Liga 3 automatically resigns me because there's no leagues below. So the pressure is on in season 1. If you look at our team, they're figuring something very close to the 4-2-3-1. And on that team, on the paper there, is very close to what I would pick. In terms of players currently picked in the squad, Dan's one of the under-23 players who's not particularly the greatest keeper. But I will try and sell when I can. Unfortunately, he's just joined the club and was in the under-23 squad. And there we are. But as you can see, a lot of these guys are just guys that are under 19 and aren't particularly the greatest or have been homegrown at the club sitting in the under 23s. There has been a couple of signings that we'll run through as well as I highlight. Oh, I just realised you can't see stats there because of my face. But, there is players that we will highlight and look through. In terms of players that have come in so far, we have brought in Street as a Mazzala on support for the 4-2-3-1, and he was one of our biggest signings. As you can see, he's a regional division player, which is a level below, and that's the only players that we could bring in. He was a free agent to begin with on the game. We also have brought in this guy here, the Koskovian, but that wasn't me, and also this guy here was not me as well. And they've all just come in. These guys will be phased out accordingly. We have not made any sales. And the club is basically based on the under 19s plus a couple of the frees that we've signed. We also have to touch on the fact that this save isn't going to be straight into Bundesliga. You can tell right now, how the club looks, and everything else that's going on, the prediction, it really should be about staying up. However, with the base of this tactic, the fact we won a game 5-0, the fact that we've got some decent kids in there, like Nathan's a 17-year-old that has very good potential. You know, you got Lorenz Cronfall, who's got great potential at a young age at 18. We'll probably get Nathan Witch up on screen as well. And Mike is our hot prospect, which I'll show you on the club information screen. I really do think that we could stay up in Season 1. Lastly, this guy's on loan, can't terminate it. I'll try not to use him. I'll leave it up to the stream, what they allow me to do. I personally don't want to use him at all because he's not homegrown at the club. But I'll leave that up to my stream to decide. If you want to be part of that decision-making process, down below is the links to the Twitch. Comment section down below. You can let me know what you would do with that loan signing for a year. Is it okay to play him? Is it not? I'm not too sure. Apart from that, that's really it here. It's going to be an interesting save. I feel with 1860 Munich, we have the potential to grow into something massive. However, Season 1 is going to be a bit of a slog. Next episode is going to be a recap of the games played on stream. It's definitely more of a highlight on the first game of the season against the Wurzburger Kickers. We will also hopefully have a senior affiliate that we just applied to get coming as well, but that will be mentioned obviously next episode. If you've enjoyed this episode and a slightly different look, give it a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and is there anything else that you would do in this save, let me know in the comment section down below. From Damien, the Fountain of Youth, and 1860 Munich, I'll see you next time for another episode of the Youth Only Challenge.